Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more politics with Laura here. Okay, this right here, Trump and his tariffs against China have the Chinese crashing out. Oh my goodness. Um, there are many creators. I guess these people have just become content creators like last night because they're telling secrets. Like I said in a previous video, they're telling secrets, but here I give you the video to where they're telling the secrets. And you're like, hey, politics with Laura, what secrets are you talking about? I'm talking about high fashion, Hermes, or really Hermes. Okay. Stop lying about it. You know you're Hermes. Okay. And they're saying how they do it. You can't make this up. They're crashing out hard. And China happens to be what is considered the world's manufacturer. So if they get into a tariff war, which they decided to do, which in my opinion, if the United States is paying you tariffs, why can't you pay a little tariffs here? Okay, that's all. Let's be fair, be reciprocal. Don't be the woman of the relationship that says, gimme, 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 and give you nothing in return but headaches, heartaches, and an early death. I'm just saying. But here, check it out. Okay, now this is what um Miss Levitt can never remember her name, but she gives a press conference and she says this about China. Now, this is before China crashes out, all right? Listen.
Ed, go ahead.
You
As
mentioned,
promised.
yes, thank you. You mentioned the 70 countries or so. I'm curious, though, under what conditions at this point would President Trump talk to President Xi about tariffs?
Look, I just spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that Xi and China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started. And the president also wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
So China has to call.
Now, that right there is before all of this. Okay? Now, Trump is like, look, just help us out. Yes, we are the world reserves, but there are more of you countries than there are of us, and we trade with everyone, and no one pays us anything. We got to support our people too, the way we support, or you support your people. We want to support our people too. Okay? We need to eat too. You're eating, allow us to eat too at the table. This is what China does.
Because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't
You
care.
can't...
We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. Right. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
When you hear Donald Trump say China wants a deal, it just doesn't know how to go about it. They're proud people. JD Vance talks about Chinese peasants. What do you make of their conduct in this respect?
If JD Vance thinks that he's dealing with the peasants in China, and I'm proud to be a descendant of the peasants, most of us are descendants of the peasants anyway, that's our tradition. We are farmers before, but now we are one of the leading industrialized economies in the world. So I'm sorry, JD Vance doesn't know what he's talking about. And therefore, I don't think there will be China-US dialogue unless the United States changes its attitude towards China. Deal with China as it is, show respect to China, show respect to the Chinese people, and don't try to impose your prejudice and biased view about China or about the rest of the world. China.
Now, I think that JD Vance could have left the peasant part out. That would have been, how can I say, a better way to get the message across. But they're like, nah. No, we've been here 5,000 years before you. You're a new country. You're acting out. You don't know how to act. You're a bunch of fools, a bunch of yahoos, right? but um, but China doubles down, doubles down. Okay, here they're gonna go for the gusto. They're gonna go ahead and bust trade secrets. So here it goes.
This Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you, step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. And the second is Weinheimera from Germany. And the third is Baz from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called PWL Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called
Wait, he's telling everything. Oh my goodness. Oh, China is crashing out. They are throwing everyone under the bus. If you want me to pay tariffs, I'm not. If you want to charge more money, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell it all. You dummy, you dumb arses are paying $37,000 for a product that only costs $1,000. They got you by $36,000 percent upwards. Everybody's gonna be mad at China. Everybody.
316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't even put a background to it. There's just so much going on. Trump has unnerved China so badly to where they are crashing out on an international level. Now, because China is doing everything they can to save their economy. Now, some people may say that China's economy is solely dependent upon imports. Everybody sending their stuff there, and then they assemble things and then ship it out. That is majority of China's economy. Now, I'm not saying that's the only thing. No, they do other things as well, but the chief part is imports, import exports. They're crashing out all because Trump said, look, everybody has been abusing the United States, and it's a time just to pay us some tariffs because we are hurting too. You heard what he said. You heard what the guy said. Hey, we lasted for 5,000 years. We're a bunch of farmers, and you think you're going to hurt us? We'll get through this. Deuces, see you, but don't want to be you. That's exactly what he said. Not verbatim, but you could have read in between the lines. But you may disagree. What are your thoughts?